Oh, so I am coming on to do a little live video. Never done this before, never been live on TikTok before, and decided to do some painting. So I started this piece a couple of weeks ago. It's dried, we've got the first layer, and I'm at a point where there might be lots of different layers, but I'm going to do a second layer today, leave it to dry, and then decide what else we sort of work with. So hi everyone, if you're coming and joining me, it's really good to see you. I've never been live on TikTok before, and so actually it's all very new and feels very unfamiliar, but as people say, really important to step out of your comfort zone and do something different. So I'm just setting up some paint. So I'm going for sort of blues and reds and purples to carry on with the layers that I've got here in the painting that I had before. And it feels that I haven't really got a set intention. It's more of an abstract piece. And sometimes abstract can be quite intuitive as well. Sometimes it can be a piece, like something that's abstract could be maybe take it. I suppose if you were thinking about abstract and thinking about, say, Picasso, who would work in an abstract way quite a lot of the time, and his portraits, he would draw from the front, draw from the side, combine them together, or he would draw different images and put them in sort of different ways. Whereas the paintings that I've been doing more recently, and a lot of the abstract stuff that I do, is more like a bit more of a abstract expressionism thing. So not so much abstracting an object or an image, it's maybe just something that is purely totally non-representational. So if you have any questions, let me know, as I've never done this before on here. I've been live, where did I go? I've been live on Instagram, and I think that feels really different. I think my understanding of TikTok is that there's a bit more authenticity about things, and I think being on different social media platforms, there's different people, different ways of working, and the thing that I've noticed about, I suppose, about lots of different platforms is the comments and people being able to be joining. So if you have any questions, let me know, and it might be that I might not be able to answer them straight away. So I'm seeing a few people that have joined, and hello. If you're an artist, let me know. If you love art, let me know. If you don't love art, but you're just maybe curious, let me know. So going for some purples. I love purple. Love purple. One of my favourite colours. I'm using acrylic paints, in case you were wondering. So sometimes when I'm painting, I'll stick some music on. Sometimes I will just keep in the quiet and in the silence and just enjoy the sort of peace and quiet. think I might need some white. So one thing that I absolutely love about art and being an artist is the sort of freedom to be able to do whatever I like, and the freedom to be able to change my style and change and not necessarily fit into a box. And I really encourage people to be able to express themselves. And I hear a lot of people in my life telling me things like, oh, I used to do loads of art, but I don't really anymore, or I'd love to do more art, but I feel like really discouraged by how things were when I was at school, and whether when I was at school I felt I really lacked confidence. I didn't think that I was very good at art. So now I'll kind of see people's art and I think, oh, I'd really like to do that, or I'd maybe like to do art therapy, but I don't think that I'm very good. And actually there is no pressure to perform in any sort of way. I appreciate that there's lots of people out there that may think and reflect and make comments on your art, but actually that should not affect, they're not able to make a judgment on you as a person, and that shouldn't really affect what you do. So just be able to go with the flow and try things out, and be able to maybe make something and test out art materials and be a bit playful, be a bit fun. Need a bigger brush. So on this piece I've got sort of quite a lot of purples and blues, and now bringing in a bit more pink and a bit more red. So I'm in my art studio, and my art studio is so messy, unbelievably messy. And I reckon a lot of artists say that they're messy, but actually I reckon I win the prize of messiness. Use hand. So the reason I'm using my hand just now is because I get a smoother effect. Quite like having those individual lines. So I do actually have an apron somewhere, something to wipe paint. Does anyone else have an apron but don't actually wear it and just use it like that? So wear it. So nice to see you. I've seen a couple of people click the button, from what I understand, to join me and maybe come and have a chat and things. And I think, oh, you know what? I am well open to getting together with people, especially other artists and other therapists and anyone that's interested in psychology and mindset and mental health and anything like that. And at some point I will do that with a bit more thought. However, today, because it's the first time I've been live, I'm just wanting to just have a chat, just have a little ramble and allow you to see what I'm doing. And we can just turn this upside down and go, whoo, hang on, what have we got here? So sometimes things just look a mess, and that's okay. So when I do art therapy with people, I'm just thinking, particularly with children, what they are encouraged to do is express their feelings. And so I'd encourage people to express their feelings using art. And sometimes people don't really know how they're feeling. They might be feeling a bit or not really have the words to describe how they're feeling, or lots of combinations of things, because feelings aren't so logical. So asking for kind of a more visible, sensory based kind of way of expressing feelings can be super helpful for people. And what sometimes happens is that I work a lot with children, so they might be kind of a bit cautious at first and sometimes they will minimise their feelings and say, actually, yeah, I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm fine. How many times do we say that we're fine when we're not? Anyway, so once they feel that they've got permission to express themselves, then they will then use all kinds of materials, make lots of mess, and that's contained as within the art therapy setting. And I'll say to them, actually, it looks like you've really expressed something there. Could this link with some of your feelings? And they say, like, well, maybe it does express my feelings. And then I'd say, well, have you fully expressed your feelings? And they're often not sure. So I'd be offering them a bigger piece of paper and say, if I gave you a piece of paper that was 5 times as big, do you think you would fully express your feelings now? Do you think all of the anger that you're feeling, or all of that sadness that you're feeling, or all of the big feelings that you have that you don't have a word for, do you think that big piece of paper would capture that? So something this big. And what they often say is, actually, no. My feelings are really big, and I'm providing some empathy for them in that moment. And that empathy is recognising that people have these big feelings, these feelings that they might not be able to sort of understand. So I'd put it out to them that if you had a piece of paper or a whole room to paint and make art in, do you think that would be big enough to express all your feelings? So they'll kind of laugh at me and go like, whoa, can I really use a whole room? And then they'll have a think about it, and they might say, yes, actually, that's fine. Or they might say, well, no, a whole room isn't enough. And that's just an indication of just how distressed somebody can feel, and just how certain situations can make somebody feel so distressed and have so much to express. And it makes me aware of how important it is to acknowledge that sometimes these feelings can't be expressed sort of verbally. So being an art therapist makes me just really proud to do that, because I've just 100% am certain and sort of embody the process. So nice to see people on here today. It's my first time live, so I'm a bit like, don't really know what to do. But I'm enjoying painting, very much enjoying painting, and I appreciate anybody that's come along on board to support me, or just to be curious. If you're feeling a bit nosy, not sure who's this Leslie artist? Who's this person? Being curious is good anyway. I do that with lives. I just sort of jump on and go, what on earth? Who's that? What are they doing? So starting to build up this second layer on here, and yeah, I'm still not sure what's happening with it, and we may never know what's happening to it today. it might take a few sittings. Got a lid on the paint and can't take it off. Might have to find something sharp to prod through, or I've got a pin downstairs, a sewing kit. Find a pencil, that work. It's where I end up splodging everywhere. So art doesn't need to be pretty and neat and tidy. It can just be like really messy. Start to think, what's going on with this? I've no clue. I mean, there is some sense of more of an intuitive response to it, but not to the point of being able to describe it. So it's very much about building up layers, thinking about where I want the paint to go and where things might naturally happen if I was just to push and pull things around. So we can make it fun. You know, the process of applying the paint can be quite big and fun. I might even be using the whole of my arm, not just sort of from the elbow or the wrist, but the whole thing. I've got some super cool paint that I want to splat, so I'm going to make this into a better consistency mixture at some point, but at the moment this is a little bit like gloss paint, so you're decorating type gloss, and I really like how I choose to sort of drip the paint with this. So just a few drips for now. I'm going to bring a bit more white into this as well. Sit that lid on. A little bit more white because I've added maybe a fair bit of black now, and I just want to balance that out. So that feels cool. end of the brush next. I wonder what it looks like upside down now. I turned it round before and I wonder how it would look. So we can spin this back round how we had it. Like that. Will that work? Reminds me of a roller coaster. Yeah, I think that way. This way might work better. So I'm done for now. I think just about. But I'm gonna see. I can't lift my easel up any higher, but I can. What I can do is I can do this, so I can lift up the painting, so that I can work at a higher level. So sometimes I'll sit down to paint because I've got this little stool that I sit on, but more often than not I prefer to stand, and this is where we're up to. So I feel like what we need to do now, what I'm all about now, is leaving this to dry, and then when it's dry, come up back and do another layer. So this is where we're up to right now. I maybe just the scratching absolutely needs to be done when it's wet. Just feels really nice and peaceful, quiet. Okay, so we're just going to leave that as it is, and I'm going to sign off and catch you later. Bye for now. Don't even know what to press to stop. What do you press to stop?